We need to talk. Hi. So, I want to have a little sit down chit chat because I'm realizing some things that need to be named and need to be communicated. And I thought it would be really useful for us to have a conversation about it because I know if I'm going through this, some of y'all are going through some version of this, and it'll be useful for me to just talk it out. So here's basically what's going down. I returned to YouTube in July after a long ass MIA hiatus, right? And I immediately jumped into this new series, and now we're 4 episodes into the series, right? Power take back time. And I'm realizing that I am not feeling it. Not feeling it. I'm not feeling the new series. And I realized why. And this is what I really want to articulate because I think it'll be useful for some people. And it's been really useful to me. I talked about this in my welcome back to YouTube video, right? That 2019 into 2020, it was like a dog year for me. You know how they say every human year is 7 dog years? It was like a 7-year internal transformation adjustment. I mean, a lot of stuff changed externally as well, but it was very much hello, Amy, everything that you thought you were and everything you thought you had to do and what you wanted, it's all just gonna be changed. My whole world just got shifted and fucking transformed, and I was shifted and transformed almost involuntarily until I surrendered and was like, okay, I guess this is what's happening. I went through this huge transformation, right? And then I decided, okay, from this new place, I'm ready to get back into regular video creation. This is what I wanna do. This is what's gonna feel good. So I come back to YouTube and I'm like, we're gonna get into it. And what did I do? I defaulted to a lot of the old ways of showing up for me. So the video format, right? With Power Take Back Time, we've seen those types of videos from me before. If you've watched a Mantra Monday video, you've essentially seen a Power Take Back Time video. It's similar format, similar concept, similar energy, similar editing, similar intent. It's the same old familiar thing that I was used to doing pre-hiatus, pre-involuntary surrender to life, dog years break that I took. And I wasn't accounting for the fact that I was a very different human, actually. That my intentions in terms of my work and my mission and what I feel called to just share or talk about is very different than what it used to be. That my process is very different. My life is very different. I did this thing that we do sometimes when we go into old environments or old relationships or old situations that are familiar to us, where I unconsciously slid back into what I was used to doing. Now, I'll give you a really clear example of where this probably shows up for you in your life, or maybe you already are thinking of somewhere, but have you ever had the experience, right, of moving away from home? Maybe to go to college, maybe to take a trip somewhere. Maybe you go off on an adventure and you feel like you have all of this growth happen for you and all these experiences, and then you're like, wow, I see the world differently. I feel like I'm different. And then you come home for a visit, or you move back home, and suddenly, despite all of your growth, despite all of these new experiences and this new awareness that you have, you slip into these same patterns with your parents, with a sibling, with your ex-boyfriend from high school who lives 6 blocks away. Suddenly you're just doing the same thing and you see yourself doing it and you're like, why am I talking to my mom this way? I sound like a teenager. We will just default to the old way. We'll just default to the old familiar way, even if it's funky, even if it doesn't really feel good. It's just that's what we're used to doing, so that's how we show up and that's what we think we have to do. And that's what I've been doing here with you. This is very much pull the curtain back in process. This is what's happening right now in real time. I'm realizing that how I want to show up on YouTube is different than how I have been showing up. And I didn't realize that until I was doing things the old way and realized this doesn't feel right. This feels inauthentic. It feels like I'm just performing. It feels like I'm just doing the thing that's expected of me. And I see this all the time with other creators that I watch that I eventually stop watching because I can feel in them oh, they're just doing the thing that they think works. Or like, they're just doing the thing that they think that they have to do. They're showing up and like performing as themselves on the internet, but there's like an undercurrent, there's like an energy there that's like, I don't think they really want to be making these types of videos, or I don't think that they really want to be doing this same old tired thing, and yet this is what they feel like they have to do all the time, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever noticed anyone like that, but this is a really common thing that happens, is like, we don't trust our own evolution, and we don't give ourselves permission to do things a new, different way, especially if or when we feel like other people are counting on us to be who we've always been, or do what we've always done, or show up how we've always shown up. That's a slippery, tricky motherfucker right there. Is like, and this is something not enough people I think talk about, is like, if you are here for growth, if you're here for expansion, if you're here for personal evolution, you are going to change, and aspects of your life will not. And you have two options then, right? You either commit to the new way and the new you and the new path, and you go, okay, I'm choosing this, I'm following this, this is the next evolution. Whatever wants to come with me will come. Whoever wants to join me there will join me there, and whatever can't or won't will fall away. We either commit to following it, or we go, I'm gonna have to show up differently. I'm gonna have to do things differently. Some people might not like that. That might not work at my current job or with my current boss. So I will just say no to my expansion and my evolution and my growth, because I don't want to challenge the circumstances of my life or the relationships that I have with people. I just want to keep things the same. I mean, not all the time. Here's the thing. This is what I want to show you in this video, and this is why I'm making this video, is because like, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to like follow the new path, and you're allowed to trust that whatever is meant to come with you and whoever is meant to join you on that new path will come with you and join you there, and whoever chooses not to, that's completely okay too. But I had to get into this new series. It's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't believe I didn't see it when I was starting it, and I kind of saw it, but I didn't. But now it's just so clear to me that like, something new wants to come through, something really different wants to come through, and I'm still figuring out what that is. So, Power Take Back Time was a short-lived series. We're gonna do 2 more episodes, and then we're gonna wrap it up in like the beautiful little bow. It served the purpose that it served, and that it showed me, oh, this is where you're defaulting to like the old way, the old energy, the old methodology, the old like tricks and things, and the old Amy that used to show up on YouTube. And then we're gonna just create something new, and you'll get to partake in that if it feels aligned for you. But yeah, I really just wanted to talk about this because I think this is something that happens to all of us when we're in, again, that like sort of pivot point of our own like evolution or growth, where you're not fully in the new, but you're not totally like comfortable with the old. You're in that liminal space, the messy middle, I often call it. And you have to go through these certain like patterns and cycles of doing things the old way before you're like, oh, I don't want to do things that way anymore. And you'll be able to tell by how you feel, and if it's aligned and if it's not, and if it feels true and right to you or if it doesn't. And this is the beautiful thing about life, right? She gives you a lot of chances for like do-overs and course correction and to make the change and to do things differently. So I'm taking full advantage of that. But I wanted to give you a heads up about what you can expect, because you're on this ride with me, right? This is a relationship that needs to get addressed. And yeah, just let you know that we're gonna do a couple more PTBTs, and then there's gonna be some new stuff happening here. Because if you haven't been following me on Instagram, I didn't talk about this over here at all, but I have a whole new body of work that's coming through. I'm not doing dating and relationship stuff anymore. I led a free workshop in August that really like unveiled and introed this new body of work and this new mission that I am in service to in the world. If you want to watch the workshop replay, I'll put the link down in the description box so that you can see the direction that we're moving in. And it's different, but it's so right, and it's so good. And the feedback I'm getting from so many of you that you really like love this new direction, and that it's fueling you and feeding you and inspiring you in different ways. I'm here for that shit. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for letting me just always like sit down and talk about what's real. I think that's like one of the most valuable overlooked things that we can do. Is like, it's just like pull the curtain back and be like, hey, this is what's going on back here. Realizing I want to make a change, and so that's what we're gonna do. And I'm trusting that, you know, for those whom this is a fit, it'll just continue to be a fit. But I really appreciate you being here. And I also understand if any of you really love Power Take Back Time and you're like, well, that's a bummer. I can completely understand that. And you know, the series will always be here for revisiting, but there won't be new versions of those videos, except for the final 2 that I have locked and loaded, ready to come at you. All right, I adore you. Thank you again. And yeah, I hope that this was helpful for some of you who are mid-transition as well. And listen, you can trust your fucking evolution. You can trust it. It's okay. You can shake up the system and do what you need to do, and just let that be enough. All right, see ya.